Hello, good morning and welcome to Joy News Interactive here on the Joy News channel, on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144 on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram with Joy News on TV. I'm Peter CBD. Thank you so much for your company. Now let's talk about hashtag Save Our Data. Data has become expensive in Ghana, and that's according to some Ghanaians who started that hashtag Save Our Data now. They complain they spend more on data and the data vanishes like something. So how about learning how to save your data, as in how to use it efficiently? The Super Morning Show engaged the Geek Squad host Kobe Spike and Nkrumah on that.
First off,
don't browse.
Well, that is a way, or don't even buy the data bundle at all. But then, like we all mentioned, our lives are heavily dependent on the internet. So one thing a lot of people need to know, you use the internet every single day, the whole month. I personally, I check how was I able to know how much data I spend on the month. When you go to your settings on your phone and then you go to your data usage, you can actually see how much data you've consumed.
What does the high data usage alert mean? Because yesterday I was Netflixing and I got the...
Yes.
Yeah.
So it means that you set a threshold to get notified when you're using high data. You've exceeded your threshold. So you can actually set a threshold. When you buy your bundle, say 2 gigs of data, you can set a notification bar and tell it that when it gets to that 2 gigs, let me know, or cut off the internet completely so that you don't exceed that bundle. Now, what I do is I go through my data usage and I see how much I spent over a period. So in September, I used 40 gig. In October, I used 38 gig. Wow. In November, I used about 40 gig again. So I know for a fact
you use 40 gig in a month.
Yeah. That's even mobile data.
On your
when
phone?
It comes to on my phone. When it comes to Wi-Fi, that's a different story altogether. So with that being said, I know that, okay, I'd rather buy in bulk, because when you're buying in pieces, you buy a gig a day, a gig a day. Imagine if I was buying a gig a day for 30
like
days.
Raymond does 750 meg a day.
No, 30 nowadays it is not even 30 any longer. Now, yesterday I bought 4.99. It is 212. Still, I mean, clearly, a 212, one video down. Then Spike, I want to find it. How do I find it?
So when you go on an Android phone, you go to your settings,
okay,
and then you go to your connections, which is where you have the Wi-Fi icon.
Take your time. We are doing it.
So settings. Then connection, and then what?
And then you'll see data usage. That's on an Android phone.
I've seen
3.69 data from the 1st of December.
Yes, so that's for
it's serious.
That's how much you've used from the 1st of December to today.
From the 1st of December
and you can see
now,
which applications are doing this. If you're using
sorry, those of us on the more advanced phones, which is what iPhone. Yes, please.
I can't even find it.
Please respect Raymond.
Okay, I've seen it.
Okay, so we are currently checking. You can also check yourself if you're in the office
or
you're in the car.
Where's the
So when you
total?
click on the data usage, it should show you the total.
Okay, so this is important because it helps you know exactly how much you're spending so that you can buy it in advance.
So if you're using the more advanced, and I clear my throat, phones, which is the iPhone.
The message has been made.
When you go to settings and you go to your mobile data and you scroll down, you see the applications that are using your data for your current period. You've used 942 gigs. That's
for how long?
we have to check the period.
Okay, all right, I get it.
I've used 2 gig in December.
Raymond has used almost 1 terabyte of data.
Wow.
Raymond, I wonder what you do.
Raymond, what do you do?
Like, I'm amazed.
Well, he listens to 50 cents to exercise in the morning. So.
Okay, what other tips do you have for us, Spikey, in saving data?
When you check all these things, you can see the applications that are taking most of your data.
Netflix.
And you can, in your case, Netflix. In my case,
Facebook, Safari, Netflix, YouTube.
Now, all these applications have low data modes. So when you go to WhatsApp, for instance, you can turn off your auto downloads. A lot of people have auto downloads on, and we are all in a number of groups. I'm in so many groups, I don't even have personal conversations again. Now, these groups, people are always sending content, videos, photos, and all these things. An auto download causes them to automatically download on your phone, and that is your data running away from you. So just go turn off your auto download in your WhatsApp. Go to Facebook, also turn off autoplay. Because you are scrolling in your Facebook timeline and videos start playing. That's your data that's just going.
So you find that way in settings?
In settings. When you go to WhatsApp, you go to the settings. You'll find the auto download, data usage.
WhatsApp, where is the settings? So
The
show you.
three dots in the
My
top
drug
right
is going
corner.
like that.
The three dots in the
please,
top
I'm
right corner.
speaking
When
for
you
the
touch
population
it,
of Ghana that are above a certain age.
Oh, shit.
Please.
Okay.
when you touch it, you see the settings, and when you open it,
You see the data
yeah, you
usage.
see the data usage.
All right, so let's put this into practice. We go to our settings. After that, we go to our mobile data. Mobile data, what you do is that you go to your options, mobile data options, and it will show you low data mode. I haven't put mine on, so I put it on. And the app that uses most of my data is Instagram with 53.7 gigabytes. And my last reset was in 18th of August. So from the 18th of August until today, I used 53.7 gigs on Instagram. And the second runner-up is 37.4 gigabytes on Facebook. And the last one is WhatsApp with 25.3 gigabytes. So all you have to do, you go to your settings, you go to mobile data, and then it will show you the mobile data options. And all you have to do is low data mode. You switch it on, and you don't have to auto download and all of that, and you will save you some data. And instead of asking, you know, hashtag save our data, but you've also been talking to us on WhatsApp 0540100909, and this one is from Siedu from the Upper West, who says, I want to change the problem. If not, I will stop using this certain telecom because the data is always bad. So I'm going to filter some of these messages because we don't want to, you know, give bad publicity to some of these network providers. Okay, so this one, Kaula from Ukraine, who says, okay, so I use a certain red network here with 5 gigabytes, and it takes me till the end of the month without putting my data off, but I've never finished my data for a month. I think the problem is in Ghana, the Ghana mobile operators. Okay, so very interesting stuff coming there. Let's see. So this is a question, and they're asking which one expires and which one does not. Another one is saying, I'm leaving Ghana to heaven every day, this and that. Adding, okay. Some of us are doing online studies, and it is unbearable. Frustration in Ghana is too much. This one is from Reverend Sakiti, who is in Winneba. Okay. A question from Kukum, who says, how can one ascertain the data purchased is indeed the amount of data received? Yesterday was something else. I realized that the price quoted for monthly mashup had increased to 30 Ghana cedis, only for that to be changed to include 10 Ghana cedis. The speed at which the data got finished was extremely worrying, and that's from Ernest. Okay, the last one I'm going to take, it says, this particular network is problematic. Please advise us on the network we should switch to. You should switch to any network you think you can afford and you think you'll be comfortable with. And also you need to remember where you live. You know, you spend most of your time maybe at home. So if you choose a network that doesn't really work in your area, it might be problematic, and meaning that you will use more data. Now, let's talk about HIV and AIDS. Statistics released by the Ghana AIDS Commission indicates that there are about 150,000 people in Ghana who have HIV/AIDS but are unaware of their status. This, the Commission says, is particularly worrying because unlike persons who have the virus and know their status and so are likely to take steps to prevent spreading it, such persons could be innocently spreading the disease. Now, beyond that, these sufferers are denying themselves access to antiretroviral drugs, which would help them live healthy lives. These alarming statistics came a day after the commemoration of World AIDS Day, which fell on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Greater Accra region and Ashanti regions are leading in new HIV infection cases. Let's check out some of these graphics. All right, those are some scary statistics. Now, I'm asking you, when last did you check your HIV status? Have you even checked your HIV status? Now, the AIDS Commission says more young women are contracting the disease from relatively rich older men. Now, we asked you to share with us how modern lifestyles are fueling the growth in the number of cases, and you've been reacting to this on Facebook. Mami Abena says, please, he's correct, because the ones we test and come up positive also have multiple partners in most cases. So upon analysis, he is correct. Get tested now. Your partner may be cheating. Bonti says, these are the same devilish institutions who team up with these wicked people to infest us with the virus so they can sell the drugs back to us. God is watching us all. Indeed, he is. Anthony Kojasafo says, some people are fully aware they have the virus, but decide to infect others deliberately. Kwekwe Santi says, I think it's because of the modern foods, pizza. Well, I don't think so. In fact, I know so. It's not because of that. I think that's... No, it's not. Why would you say that? Noble Ray says, the real question is what they're really doing about it. Is it a natural or a man-made virus? At Grace Millicent says, when the rich old men refuse to be faithful to their wives, excuse me, chasing everything in skirts, and we, the young girls, refuse to use our hands to work, but rather flirting with people's husbands because they have money and they spoil us with gifts. The most annoying thing is that they won't protect themselves. Samuel Kingsley Otu says it's a crime for each person to deliberately infect others with the virus. Secondly, Ghanaians don't like using condoms, hence the rapid growth of the disease. Regan Augustine says, be there in doubt. I'm afraid it's higher than the projectile figure. Just look around how promiscuous we have become lately. Blood samples are taken for diagnostic purposes without duly seeking for your consent. However, most people take first-line treatment without necessarily knowing why they are taken. Please insist on patient education on your medications before going home. This one is from @Aruku says, barbering shops as well as the cosmetic shops are one of the spreading agents these days. And that's why it's very important when you're going to do your nails or you're going to cut, that you ask the person who's cutting you or doing your nails to sterilize whatever objects they're going to use on your face, your nails, your hair. Make sure that they sterilize that. Moses says, one thing Ghana is really good at is calling numbers and figures. How did you know that those that are living with the disease, if they don't even know they have it? Unbelievable, right? But it's true in Ghana. This is the last one I'm taking from Facebook. Abba Moses says that's true, especially in the rural areas. Zachariah says promiscuous life among the youth is at its peak, and this coupled with the operations of abortions, yeah, in the trimming of nails as a result of people being lazy to trim their own nails. It's a contributing factor. People on the streets of Accra have been speaking about this.
Not at all. I'm not afraid. Why? Why should I be afraid? I'm not afraid. It's not an end in itself, so why should I be afraid? Well, I'm not sexually active, so you know, sex is one of the major reasons or major ways of acquiring HIV, and I'm not sexually active. Secondly, I live alone, so I don't share cup spoons and all that with people where I stand the risk of getting the virus. So I think that I'm pretty safe. So no need to be afraid. You know, initially there was the notion that HIV means that you're going to die and then life ends for you. But people have seemed to be enlightened, and HIV does not kill you, especially when you're able to manage yourself. They're antiretroviral drugs, so then if you're able to get them, you wouldn't get to that point where death will become something closer to you.
I'm not frightening, because now you have a medicine. When you take it, as doctors will direct you to do. You will live for a longer time before you will be called to death.
Do you know your status yourself?
Not yet.
Why?
Oh, I'm not yet to go in for, but as of now, I have to go simply because I have to find out whether I'm infected or not, so that I can have drugs that to fight against the germs. Oh, in fact, I stick to my wife alone. I don't go out, and you know, it's not only sex that cause or can give you that infection. Even a mere this infusion can give you the disease. So as far as we are all victim, whether you have sex behind your wife or behind your husband or not, you have to go and test for it. If you are known to be infected, then you know what to do.
Not at all, not at all. If I should be afraid, then I should also be afraid of the word sickle cell. I should be afraid of the word diabetes, hypertension, stroke, and any other conditions. No, so I'm not afraid at all. I'm not scared.
Why are you not afraid?
Yes, because we have a lot of conditions that people are living with. And doctors made us to understand that HIV also, you can live with it. You can live with the HIV until your God-given lifetime. And so I do not think I should be afraid. What you need to do is to just know your status and then learn how to live with it. It means that until you are married, you shouldn't have sex, so abstinence. And apart from that, also morality. Morality. That is what I do, and I think everybody should buy into that.
So according to the AIDS Commission, about 150,000 Ghanaians are living with HIV and AIDS and are unaware of their status. But as we know, when you were growing up, this is what they taught you: A, B, C, abstain, be faithful, and condom use. On that note, I'm going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with more.